Hi folks, and welcome to the Scott Show. We are super excited to bring you the top 8 of the 1980s series, and we are rocking it forward to 1981. Now, as great as the 1980s was for music, 81 was almost just as good. There were a few hits that came out, a few bands that came out rocking it like crazy business, and we give you the honorable mention first before the top 8 from the 80s. Of course, this list is brought to you by the 102550 Homeless Project and the Scott Show. If you want to argue about this list, please do at the comment section below on YouTube, or you can always talk to us on Speaker.com or wherever you can find us. That's what we got going on, folks. Alright, so here we go with the honorable mention. I have to give honorable mention to Billy Squier and The Stroke. Definitely an interesting song. I think I've made enough comments on that. Let's move on. Alright, Who's Crying Now by Journey. That almost made the top 8, but I had to include some songs that were just big hits, and there were reasons why it didn't make the top 8 of the 1981 list. Take It on the Run by REO Speedwagon. Hit Me With Your Best Shot, Pat Benatar. The Winner Takes It All by ABBA. Lady by Kenny Rogers. Endless Love by Diana Ross and Lionel Richie. And Betty Davis Eyes by Kim Carnes. That's your honorable mention. I always have honorable mention in the top 8 from the 1980s, but now we go to the main event. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the main event, and here we go. Number 8, Elvira by the Oak Ridge Boys. You can't go anywhere, especially with Halloween coming up, and not hear Elvira and not have, the minute you hear the name, not have the song stuck in your head. The Oak Ridge Boys were amazing. Their vocals, the different ranges of the guys, amazing stuff. I mean, you know, I'm not a huge country fan, but, 81, you had Kenny Rogers, you had some other people on our list. They were making some great music back then. Keep on Loving You, REO Speedwagon. So, folks, don't get mad at me if REO Speedwagon isn't on the list for Take It on the Run. But I'm going to Keep on Loving You. How can you pick between those two and say either one of them? So if you want to have a tie for number 7, there you go. REO Speedwagon, awesome. Number 6, 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton. Part of the movie, 1981 9 to 5 with Lily Tomlin and Dolly Parton. A whole bunch of other great actors and actresses in that movie. I haven't really studied that movie too often, but it was just such a catchy tune and people were singing it. People were working at the time, 9 to 5. First shift, or secretaries, administrative assistants, bosses were always working 9 to 5. I mean, that was the main hour to work. So it was just back at the time, 1981, the song. Celebration, Kool and the Gang comes in at number 5. You even go to parties now and you hear that song. And I'm going to parties with people who weren't even born in 1981 and still hearing Celebration because it's a great song. These songs that I want to list on the top 8 of the 1980s, list altogether, are songs that stand the test of time. That's what it is. And that's why my number 4 is Hey 19 by Steely Dan. I love Steely Dan. They, to me, I can listen to their greatest hit song, anything from Peg to Black Friday to Asia, all great stuff. Hey 19 is one of those songs that I can listen to over and over and over again, and I get excited hearing this song. I am generally like, I can sing along with this song, it's got a great beat, it's something I can listen to. Not a lot of songs lately, folks, and I hate to downplay new music. You can actually sit there and listen to with everybody in the car, and they're like, hey, this song sounds cool. So, Queen makes the list for Another One Bites Dust. Folks, it's Queen. It's Freddie Mercury at his best. So, Another One Bites the Dust. It's got to be number 3. Number 2 is Arthur's Theme. At the time, Arthur was such a great movie. Dudley Moore was in that movie. And Arthur's Theme, The Best You Can Do, is a little tagline for that by Christopher Cross. it's just one of those songs that brings the movie. And back in '81, it was huge. And I hear it from time to time, and it's one of the that's Arthur's theme, and the movie's still out there, and people are still watching it. Now, does it have Another One Bites the Dust kind of nostalgia to it? Maybe. Maybe you could switch around some of them, but Christopher Cross at the time, this song was amazing. So number 2, Christopher Cross, Arthur's Theme. I get to my number 2. My number 1, and there's so many reasons I gave this number 1. Biggest reason I gave this number 1 is because of who it is. It's Stevie Nicks. Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac. And Tom Petty. Stop Dragging My Heart Around. Stop Dragging My Heart Around gets the number 1 song from 1981. I mean, folks, I'm just, yeah, Stevie Nicks, Tom Petty, Stop Dragging My Heart Around. I mean, you're going to sing to it. You're probably singing to it already. It's 1981, and it's still one of the greatest songs of all time. So, it gets my number 1 from 1981. Stop Dragging My Heart Around, Stevie Nicks, Tom Petty, and we're rocking it out here, folks. So, what we're doing is we are doing the top 8 of the 1980s every year of the 80s. So, we're going to go from 1980 to 89. This is 81. Stop Dragging My Heart Around, number 1 song in 1981. Super excited. Stevie Nicks, Tom Petty. You're going to see a lot more of these two coming down the pike in the 1980s. So, folks, I'm going to go to 82 now. We are going to rock it, so we'll catch you guys in the wonderful year of 1982.